corner here, so there's no bad seat in regards to finding and seeing the action. We have some awesome vendors here on display, and it's open pit, so you could meet, greet, high five. We have the autograph session, so there's still some time to get on down here if you're just across the river here in St. Louis, or if you're nearby, come on by. Tickets available. Come join us. Even the carts are out there ripping around, but be pretty rad to be karting. You're like, what is going? Bam! Like, what's going on over there? Well, you're Mario karting. They're doing full-on, Gran Turismo just over the wall.
Like, what's that smell? I see the burning rubber. Oh, it's just the Formula Drift car.
Right, you're like, dude, what? I'm getting it, brother. Like, look at the smoke coming off this cart. No, that's the drifters across the way. All right, well, this gentleman, he had to go yesterday, had to shut it down. But Cody Dempster going against Cole Richards, and you wonder what kind of role that plays. Cole having some practice and some runs. They had practice earlier today, but having those runs in seeding brackets, and then Cole Richards thinking dwelling, or does he have confidence coming to this round after such a dynamic victory in Jersey?
Yeah, definitely. I think Dempster's had a little bit of he's probably a little shaken up with the mechanical stuff he had to go through with that Corvette, and but he does have a lap time over Richards in this, so Richards definitely has that advantage of carrying that confidence over. But new track, new round. Let's get after it and see what these guys do.
Let's go. Here we go. Cole Richards will be leading. Again, getting the victory at the most recent round in New Jersey. The previous round here, Cody Dempster. Let's see what he can bring. Cody Dempster, great looking Corvette. Cole Richards in what was the FRS BRZ 86. Regardless, we know the chassis. Yeah, FRZ1. There we go. Cole Richards will lead. Those lights extinguished, and looks like we got a clean start. Going to the outside zone 1. Cole Richards, good aggressive flick into it. Skirts right past that dirt. No problem for him. Cody Dempster, you see him get buried in the smoke, takes a tighter line, but Cole Richards fills all the outside zone 2, approaching a little bit of hiccup there, but massages it right into outside zone 3. Dempster definitely needs to catch up here into the outside zone 4. Justin Smash drops on in with the drone. Aaron with the Truth Serum, that's the big overhead. So we have 2 different drones that we're going to utilize. One kind of looking like a video game, looks really dynamic for the highlight reel, and you'll get those shots. We have utilized that for judgments. And then Aaron high in the sky, as I call it, the Truth Serum. It's really telling of the angles in line.
Yeah, I like that type of initiation from Richards here, and Dempster does a great job of keeping up with Richards in that chase position, but falls a little short and behind here as Richards does a great job.
That's weird. Is it just me, or am I having a delay on the thing? Hold on.
Dempster trying to make up some real estate as they go through outer zone 4, just checking all those boxes and then some, even double checking the boxes from Richards here in the lead position. As Dempster, you can see this is where it kind of fell apart. Got lost in the smoke, cut the corner, got it in front of the pocket in that chase position, but Richards acting like he's not even there, just doing almost like a non-judge lead lap. But we are judging this run here as they get through outer zone 4, and Dempster doing all he can in that Corvette. They're battling engine issues. I got a message from Derek Madison, I guess I could call him crew chief there for Dempster.
Yep.
They had, I think, 6 PSI of engine oil pressure, so they had to battle that last night. So let's give Dempster the clean air and see what he can do with that car.
All right, so Dempster's out front. He had those mistakes. He knew he was going against Cole Richards.
There we go. A nice initiation.
Will it hurt him? No, obviously not, but the real battle is won here in the chase position. That's going to show the driving prowess. And just as I say that, Cole Richards brings it on in. Dempster goes wide, that back left. Looked like he's running definitely some low tire pressure and bringing on in that last outside zone. Cole Richards and Dempster swings it across. That yellow line is the finish line, right? You talk about that truncated outside zone 4.
All right, hold on. I'm going to try to play a different video real quick. Or am I tripping?
I did the old one more lap.
Chaos. If it's 90 or 100 outside.
Okay. It's just Formula Drift messing up.
We'll have some dealing with. The first one we went to was Hyperfest. We were still having the belt.
Okay. I thought it was my shit bugging out there for a second.
So
we're good.
Across that finish line, we don't want them to come unwound, have an accident, get some contact with Dempster, and they are asked to go all the way around the cone. Let's look at it again.
Yeah, I think I like Dempster's lead run, but I just don't think it was enough to kind of trump Richards' lead run as we get in there. But look at that diving in by Richards, right in the pocket there, and it kind of almost, I don't say he did not push Dempster too wide, but he just kind of put the car in the wrong place. had to make some corrections there to keep filling out that zone and kind of lost a little bit of momentum there as he went into outer zone 4. Richards all the way there. Good adaptation from Richards in that chase position. So. Hats off to both gentlemen here, but I think I know which way the needle is waving. But look at the pressure you're talking about. How low these tires
that
are.
Is low, dude.
A 35 series tire is got such a short sidewall as it is. So once you get down into whatever digits, so here we go.
Called it. Cole Richards gets the win, and I got to tell you that transition from 1 to 2 in that chase position by Cole Richards, he did compromise a little bit of the angle and in the pocket, but I liked the proximity. He still mimicked the angle, but he was a little exceeding kind of there. But you talk about we're scrutinizing. Well, they are scrutinizing. Talking about the judges. Vernon Zvanveld coming back and join us. This gentleman judges everything, including me. And also Brian Egger and Reese Marin. They are with us the entirety of the season. So Brian and Reese, the entire season. Most recently, Reese Marin, congratulations to him for getting the top of the box at the U.S. Drift Street League competition. So go on record as having a record, the first ever Formula Drift judge, winning an event while concurrently judging the series. So hats off to Reese Marin. All right, so here we go. Moving on to our next battle. Cole Richards advances into the top 16. Remember, we do have a halftime break between 32 and 16, but right now we are advancing on with Like a Boss, Alan Boss, and he's only human. More human than anybody else here, Hooman Rahimi. All right, there we go. Bring it on in the Yeet Fleet. His mom in his ear. His mom is actually his spotter. Let's see.
Oh, nice. He's on him.
She's given him as we see that Nissan 350Z. You can't miss that. Or Nissan 370Z, excuse me. And then the Z up front. So it's all Z battle now coming this last outside zone. The boss brings it on in. Pretty straightforward. No contact there between the drivers or the wall. Let's take a look at it again. It was kind of gathering my thoughts just looking at that happen just like that.
Yeah, I think we'll see it from the other viewpoint here, Jared, where that outer zone 4, he really flicked it in like what we want to see, but it just kind of happened too fast and kind of stifled. But let's check out the first run here between Rahimi and Boss. Kind of a straight up initiation from Boss. Rahimi kind of right there as well as they fill out outer zone 1. Rahimi did a great job of transitioning here. Could have been a little more aggressive in that chase position. Boss did a great job of putting the car in there fairly smoothly. Could have had a little more angle here. Does pour a little bit into it. Rahimi setting himself up for a good transition here as Boss swings it a little too hard. The car grips up and pulls out of outer zone 4 just a little bit early. And Rahimi's still in the fight there as we take another look at this from Justin Smashes. Boss throws that into outer zone 2. Rahimi right there does make a little bit of a correction, pulls back, doesn't do much to gain proximity besides cheating the line there just a little bit. Great mimic there in the transition. You can see that angle almost perpendicular to the course as Boss kind of comes up short out of outer zone 4. So let's get that twin turbo LS 370Z in the front to see what he's got.
It's really cool to see Hooman. He's always got a great attitude, and just seeing him at LS Fest back in the day, Progress, Pro-Am, PROSPEC, you know, it just always has a really good attitude. And he's just leveled up over the years. Here we go. Hooman Rahimi gets in that dirt. Oh, and Boss, Hooman Rahimi hangs it out quite a bit, and that's gonna.
Yeah, there's like a weird delay on Formula Drift sand.
Look like there's some debris ready to fall off the front right of that bumper of Alan Boss.
Yesterday it was the echo. Today is the delay. It's always something.
Some dirt at him, but this is the responsibility of that lead driver, setting precedence in Long Beach at round 1 in April for the pro, and then inevitably the pro spec. Yeah, you see that back right corner there. Let's take a look here as the rooster shows up, but breakfast was quite a bit ago.
Rahimi was playing with the dirt just a little bit. Boss definitely filling there. You can see the contact. He's pushing 1-2. Can't do that in the chase position. That was just too much, too fast. So without getting the official word here, it looked like Boss will be at fault of that. But
don't jump to conclusions here, because how much did Rahimi slow down? For Boss is being aggressive, yes. Hooman got in. There's I'm just saying. Hey, okay, don't jump to conclusions, because one, you have the judges over here and they're listening to you, so you're not supposed to do that. So that's why I'm saying that. So I'm just saying you can't do that, because they're right in the same room. So Hooman Rahimi goes in, and you can see, you know, obviously. You can see, I'm just going to do this, as Hooman
we'll see the delay.
And, wonder exactly what's going on. So again,
they always have something wrong.
Just further expand what you were talking about. Boss did come in.
It is what it is. We just want to see the drifts battles, though.
That is TBD, because here we are. Hooman Rahimi gets 1 and a 2 and a 3 votes there. So would love to talk to the judges here. Reese, if we could throw on your headset, I know you speak on behalf of all of them. You can see Max. So Hooman Rahimi gets the victory. You could see Alan Boss again. He came in hot. Huma did this, bing, bong, boom. And Reese, going to you, buddy.
Yeah, going into outside zone 1, we were paying close attention to Alan Boss as he was sweeping through in the chase. You can see as he was getting, as they were both reaching the end of outside zone 1, you can see he just kind of gets into him, rotates him in, and we ended up putting the blame on Alan Boss there. So Huma gets the win.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So again, you know,
Let me try to hit it up on the second tab. I don't know. I know it's not probably not my problem, but
Yeah.
it's bothering me.
Where I said so. And since we're at the daily, we can't really see the decel lights. That would have been another factor that we can see that. But just visually, it looked like Rahimi was carrying his momentum out of outer zone 1.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree, and you could see Alan Bosch just coming in hot. Huma, he did flirt with the dirt, came in hot. Huma did this, bing, bong, boom. And Reese, going to you, buddy.
Yeah, going into outside zone 1, we were paying close attention to Alan Boss as he was sweeping. You can see he just kind of gets into him, rotates.
Thank you so much for look at that.
Same.
I absolutely Durden.
It's the same there as well.
Tell you that, you know, he wasn't in as deep as Alan Boss. So, you know, and that's where it comes down to, you know, the eyes.
Let's go Mustang.
Spotters that, you know, they're watching in practice. They're seeing what kind of line, what's their approach, how are they initiating, how are they transitioning? Is it late? Is it early? Is it fluid? You know, the judges are requesting them to, in the transition, scrub some speed as opposed to hitting that brakes, hitting that handbrake to cause it to slide out. And, you know, just the car manipulation, how they navigate their vehicle into the certain outside zones, because that's all it is here, 4 outside zones. Fill those things with that back bumper. Moving on to our next battle, that is not Corey Talaska, is it?
No, that is Colette
not.
Davis and Adam
That is
Heischman.
Colette Davis and Adam Heischman.
So yeah, we got Max is going to do a little on start line repair there. Some zip ties on that pony of Adam Heischman before we get these guys off.
Blinker fluid looked a little low. I was going to say something, but I'm glad Max is on the case. That was a joke for those that think I'm serious. Yep.
Race cars have blinkers.
Yeah. You just throw them on. The BMW stays on for quite a bit longer.
Or not at all.
Or not at all.
So how many bodies does this car hold?
It's a 5-passenger car.
Right.
Classic car memes. Come on. The internet's alive and well, and it's undefeated. You know, at least we're not at a Coldplay concert.
All right, Colette.
All right,
Let's see something. Come on.
Colette Davis will be leading in this.
There we go.
BMW, great looking vehicle.
A little late there on that transition from that box.
Mustang coming to the second outside zone. Good transition.
There we go. Full throttle.
See the eye in the sky. Colette coming down the outside zone 3. Good fluid. You see
Let off the.
minimal
Yeah.
at all. Any corrections now outside zone 4. Bring it on in. And that's a wrap on run 1 with Colette out front.
Yeah, it looked like Adam Heischman got a little gap at the start there, but he slowly reeled it in. So good on him, and Colette doing a good job of checking the boxes in the lead position. Let's take another look. As they get out of the chicane there, you can see the gap that a few cars as Heischman pulls a little angle to get that proximity. As Colette's fully in zone 1, and a good transition there from Heischman. Sticks with it, stays in the pocket for the most part, and stays.
Her line was good though.
Could have used a little more angle there. I feel like the lack of smoke there.
Yeah, she let off the throttle too much right there.
It wasn't fully filled to that cone as Heischman was staying there pretty much the whole time after outer zone 1 and that great transition he had in that chase position. Second look here. Outer zone 1, you can see Heischman sacrificing the line, but he does a great job mimicking that transition and staying in that pocket. Really good job. You see his temperament there, wheeling the Mustang as Colette does a great job of here, filling up outer zone 3, and you can kind of see that little hesitation, handbrake pull into the start of outer zone 4, but does fill up it up for the most part, and no contact. So let's give that pony the clean air.
I just got to put it out there. You know, here I am calling the run, but getting all those different angles, it really does highlight it. So I'm reacting to the live run, and having that luxury of looking at the different angles, it really helps the judges, you, me, and elaborate on what is expected from the judge. Oh, Colette comes up short. Looks like the car grips up and shoots in on the inside. Heischman does continue on. He fills that outside zone 1. Looks like he clutch kicks that thing back into outside zone 2 and is fluid into outside zone 3. You can see Colette Davis with good proximity now as we're riding on the drone here. Coming outside zone 4. Heischman swings wide, gets in the dirt. Now 3 tires off would be an incomplete. That looked like it was 2, but again, all those different angles from, you know, the cameras on the ground, the first person, you know, the Justin Smash kind of angle, looking more video game, and then the truth serum is just the locked and loaded kind of overhead static.
Yeah, they were a little closer on the run-up, but she had a little fairy launch there, a couple hand brakes to kind of get back in the picture here. Did what she had to do. Heischman doing a good job. Kind of started that outer zone 2 just a little early, but it does carry through into outer zone 3 as Colette's trying to do the best she can to gain that real estate as she left foot brakes. And Heischman just swung it a little too far, getting part of that grass. That's not quite 3. We'll take another look at that as we get back into outer zone 3 here. As you can see, Colette trying to chase down Heischman in that as he puts on some left foot braking. Good transition by both parties, but you can see Heischman get there's 1, 2, and maybe if we can get another shot of the front. I'm not sure if we were able to, but it didn't look like the front right tire. That would have been the third tire to make it an incomplete. So let's see. He was
definitely getting aggressive. And that's exactly what I was talking about. That outside zone 4 on that second run, Heischman going for it, and I'm just gonna say it's gonna come into play. That little hump, that bump on that wall when they transition.
Yeah, because of that 3-tire drop, this is probably going to Colette.
And it comes at you.
Colette's run was a lot more cleaner looking.
That little pocket, but let's take a look at the overhead.
Yeah, as far as like deficits go, Jared, I think that at the beginning of Colette's, it wasn't probably as much as that deficit as Heischman's was in outer zone 4, but very similar runs here. I would like to see a little more angle through outer zone 3, but both parties had a good transition mimicking their lead driver, but here's where it fell apart just slightly for Adam Heischman in that lead position. Colette, kudos to her for keeping the proximity there through that outer zone 4. Max got him lined up at the finish. Let's see what happens.
All right, who is maximum, who is minimum? Talking about Max on the line.
Mixed run.
Starting off and slide him left for Davis or right for Adam.
It is what it is. Congrats, Colette. That was good.
Colette Davis. So again, another insight here from Reese, if we could very quickly there, because Colette was lacking on that chase run. Heischman goes off in outside zone 4. Was it a case of Heischman holding up Colette, or what did you guys see?
That Heischman's in the lead. He doesn't get into outside zone 1 as good as Colette did. And then as we go into outside zone 4, you can see that Heischman drops those 2 tires. Now we do see that Colette did have some errors as well too, but when you compare both of them together, we feel that the errors were more on Heischman's side, and Colette gets to win.
All right, thank you so much. So there's a collective lead versus lead, chase versus chase, Colette Davis. I would say narrowly. I mean, that was kind of mine. I mean, and I like that. You know, we're really twisting the screws on the judges and say minimize the 1 more times. You know, not any sport. You're like, run again. You know, like, great run in snowboarding, run again. All right, here we go. All right, we got 2 fun drivers.
Bro's got that NASCAR livery. Let's go.
Jerry Johnson out front. The Cat Daddy here coming in outside zone 2, coming in outside zone 3. Jerry Johnson. This Johnson is on fire. Now coming out of 3, Brian Hopp. Hollywood comes in a outside zone 4. He shallows up. Jerry Johnson fills all outside zone 3. Definitely want to get these different perspectives and angles with Johnson out front. And again, Brian Hopp in the chase position.
Yeah, Brian Hopp just seemed like he was just outside of his threshold there to keep up with that rocket ship. Of
maybe a little panicked, kind of like, whoa,
a little bit.
Wow. All right.
Look back at the transition between 1 and 2 here, but you can see almost impeding. Doing a good job there of you know, sticking with it, but trying to get in proximity. Johnson did a great job through outer zone 1 transition. You can see Hopp. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. He got transition through. You can see a lot of guys getting, you know, whited out with the smoke there, and I can't see. And again, this transition here by Hopp, needed to clean that up to make it, just put the cherry on top of that chase run. But Jerry, great job. That's what we kind of expected him from last round. He was just stellar, and he's showing it still in this round. So let's see what he can do chasing Hollywood Hopp.
We know that Brian Hopp, you know, he drives a lot at E-Town. You know, he works with MA Motorsports, who's built championship-winning vehicles, you know, working with Forsberg over the years and many different other drivers, including Alex Jager as well. But here, you know, Hopp, I feel just like it's a game of inches, and I'm talking about the mental game and just really getting it dialed, because we know he's capable, but you saw him kind of, oh, shoot, like just a little panicked, like, flow like water, man. Listen to Bruce Lee, you know, just start getting that flow, man. And watch this. I think he's going to put down a great lead run. When it comes to chase, maybe he just has those hiccups. And look at Brian Hopp gets involved in the dirt. That might be a small deduction there, but you saw how aggressive he was because he's confident out front. He's got the clean air. Look at the angle. Johnson trying to apply the pressure, and it's a battle is truly won in that chase position. And Jerry he's doing a good job, not a great job, because look, he shuts it down there. So again, this is very comparable to the other run, Hop in the chase position. So want to pan out, get that perspective, see what's going on there. But Hop did those kind of exciting things that the judges are looking for, but then chase position, that is where the battle's won or lost.
I think once we look at this, we might not agree on Hop's lead run. I feel like Power Zone 1, he's dropping that tire, getting a little wild here. Jerry did a good job here. He does get a piece of that rumble strip. It kind of falls apart here. You can see it. There was the momentum lost there. Messed up Jerry. He's trying to make up the ground because he probably feels like, oh, that was my fault.
Yeah.
And then Hop kind of rips up there, pulls out a little earlier than Jerry did in his lead position. I don't know what happened with Jerry there in that Hour Zone 4, but let's take another look through Justin Smash's lens as we go through. You can see that car getting a little upset with the berm. And right here, looked like he might have dropped the tire there. Left foot brake too much, but you can see the momentum was lost there. And that's a big deficit when
We're talking about Jerry.
Oh, I'm talking about Hop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hop. That's one of the things that the judges, I feel, looking at. They're really weighing the lead driver to put on a good canvas for the chase driver to paint their run on. And Hop, I feel like, had a little dirtier canvas to start with than Jerry gave Hop.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I just think bringing that and dipping a toe as opposed to full-on jumping in, head first. Hop did drop the tire, and I'm not taking that away. I think it's a deduction by comparison to what Jerry did out front. But this is, like I said, I'm more focusing on the chase run because Hop did have some major mistakes here. Johnson did this. So overall, those boys definitely have something to learn. And look at this. And this is here. And this is exemplary of what our discussion we just had. So one judge going with Hop, one judge going with Johnson, and one judge going one more time. So what does that equate to? That's a one more time. And that's it. So that for me is telling that one judge is leaning more towards this, one judge leaning toward that. Overall, it's a one more time. So let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's with the driver. Dude, some momentum from Jersey here to St. Louis. Tell him congratulations from the box.
I sure will. And I mentioned New Jersey to him, and he said, well, New Jersey's in the past. He's looking towards the future here in St. Louis. And Cole, this track is actually pretty tricky. So how do you link it from the beginning to the end, from outside zone 1 to outside zone 4?
Yeah, I mean, the whole track is very technical, and it's probably one of my most favorite tracks to drive. But as soon as you mess up OZ1 or even OZ2, the rest of the run is just toast. And it's crucial to get OZ1 down and OZ2 and then OZ3 and so on. And if you can't get the first 2 zones down at least, then the rest of the run is just ruined, basically. So it's a very fun track, and it's a very tricky track because we're only drifting with, 3 transitions, I believe. So 4 zones, it's not a technical track on paper, but with all of the visual markers, all of the factors that play into a weekend, it's a very tricky and technical track.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's battling on this tricky and technical track with everything he has, and hoping to move forward on that podium, grabbing another one. Guys.
Thank you so much. And I'll tell you, Cole Richards, from previous years to now, I just feel like he's just aging like fine wine. A great young man, and he's doing a good job. I like his attitude. He's got a good attitude. He's eager to learn. He's a sponge, and I like where he's at right now.
For sure.
All right, so we are going back and digressing to the battle of Corey Talaska and Jack Davis. Talaska will lead. We do not see him because he was locked and loaded, but Jack had to fight for his right here to get into R32. So Talaska, we saw him in Jersey. He finished 9th in our previous round. Jack Davis, and again, he was in our seeding brackets.
Yeah, so one thing you notice why we had to kind of come back to these guys, Jack Davis had a handbrake issue, and that's why he had to take the competition timeout.
Oh no, we are hearing that Jack Davis is going to be a DNS. Do not start. The car is dead on the line. He didn't have a handbrake. Now the car has lost power. So Jack Davis, that will be unfortunately a DNS for him. Do not start. So he will have to retire, and Talaska will get handed the victory because of Jack Davis having to retire. So he did call that comp timeout. We heard that he didn't have a handbrake, and now the car, what's that? All right, so it is a bye run. There it is for Talaska. Definitely upsetting for Jack Davis. We will see him at our final round in Utah. But Talaska, He continues on. Again, another driver that's showing great maturity and great expansion on his program. You know, having fun, but really dialing it in. And this is just a testimonial to the drivers taking it a little more seriously, elevating. You know, some of these drivers don't have aspirations to go into pro, but they take the PROSPEC to a degree of professionalism to do 4 events this year. You know, a lot of these drivers, this is a side hustle. This is camaraderie. This is hanging out with their friends or hanging out with their family, literally their blood or not blood. But kudos to Corey Talaska. He advances on. Unfortunately, Jack Davis, his car knocks him out. We'll be right back here to Worldwide Technology Raceway in round 3 of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship.
Looking like study time.
Trying to.
Oh, your Lenovo Aura Edition can block all my distractions. Sorry, is that distracting?
Just our roomy routine.
Find your focus on a Lenovo laptop with the power of Intel inside at Best Buy.
We are Jerry. We've killed the never-ending headache of car insurance for real this time. We're the one-stop shop car.
Link ECU, let's get it!
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Link Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Moving right along here in our top 32, you are joining us live at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
What up, Summer?
Our top 32, and we are to see, it looks like Nick Jimenez and Luis Lanz. So Lanz is making his way out of the burnout box. Nick Jimenez is out of the Z. A lot of these guys from Middle America, like Oklahoma, just all across the country. So it's cool to see just drivers come from Oklahoma, just all across the country. So it's cool to see just drivers come from all over.
Yeah, I feel like some of the guys that live in the winter climates have an advantage because we'd always just mess around in the winter with our trucks, and then you have that off-season training.
Yeah, and sorry, real quick, just I say Jimenez is from him and his lady, but originally from Hollister, so just AKA, we're just also just so you know. So Luis Lanz there.
Appreciate it.
Like Jimenez will lead.
Nah, we were just locked in last night having fun.
Luis, you could see him coming on in that Corvette, but Jimenez, there we go, talking that dirt. So see, he hit the dirt, but the car got disrupted.
Right.
That's very different from what we saw previously with Brian Hoff. Now in that second outside zone, Luis giving Jimenez a little bit of room. Now,
yeah, last night was fun as hell.
For Jimenez, you saw that quick, that transition.
We'll get to do that again whenever we can.
Minimal straightening, just for just a split second there, transitioning into outside zone 4 by Jimenez. Didn't look like it impeded on Lanz, and Lanz, you need to go the top side of that cone there. Definitely don't want to go head on. Let's take a look at it again.
Okay, they fixed the delay. Thank God.
You're off the start, and Luis Lanz attack here, but we can see that dirt drop disrupting that Z out front. You can see Luis Lanz making an adjustment there. He does a good job of keeping that composure and and transition through outer zone 2 and keep the proximity against the lead driver of Nick Jimenez. You can see this left foot braking from Jimenez and kind of breaking there into the outer zone 4. So gave Lewis Lance a little bit of opportunity to kind of catch up there at the end of the course. Taking a look at the chase drone, you can see that correction there and the disruption of that dirt as Jimenez goes through outer zone 2. And Lewis Lance doing a great job here, keeping his composure in his sophomore year here at PROSPEC, and Jimenez a freshman himself as they go into outer zone 4. Great proximity there. Both kind of went in a little bit hot. I didn't quite see that jiffy of a hesitation from Jimenez, but it was a good run.
Yeah, it was just a very quick, just a small kind of bleed in the line there for Jimenez. But now Lewis Lance out front, like you said, sophomore season, gaining that maturity as they talked about some of the other drivers, and Lance is in that camp, and we'll see if Jimenez can strap that back bumper on. Fortunately, he's in the chase position, so it won't become a factor as far as impeding in Lance, because we talk about, you know, hood, door, latch, anything latchable or affixed originally if it impedes on that chase driver. But again, Jimenez is out back, so it won't be an issue here.
Right.
Lands on the start line, ready to lead with that clean air. We'll see how he manages these 4 outside zones. Ripping and ripping out of that start chicane. Lands takes
No, he shut it down. Oh, it's a restart. Okay.
Phone was hit. Thank you so much.
I missed it.
Thought his car shut down.
Yeah, I should, you know, I don't know if we should send you back down there, man.
No, that's
Same old phone?
Yeah, a lot of the Corvette drivers in the
Upgrade to
FD
the
are
new
very good.
Galaxy Z Fold 7.
This is Buick. Now. Buick. Accept.
I'll be better.
No, you're on it. It's all good. No, I appreciate what you
Yeah,
do.
the Z is like people that drive the Z in PROSPEC, this is like a starter pack, you know. The Z is like everybody's starter pack. That's what you start working on and building and learning to drift and get better at, and then after that you transition to whatever more expensive car build.
Be up close and personal and contribute to the Formula family. Thank you, Matt.
Oh, of course.
Here we go. Lewis
Here we go.
now out front through that start chicane. Nick Jimenez chasing him down. See if he can go tip to tail. That first outside
Nice.
brings it on in. Jimenez comes up short now, approaching and transitioning that outside zone 2. And looks like
All right, he's staying with him. Let's go. That Z in there.
Outside zone 3 goes Lands, and now approaching transition.
Oh, he lost him.
Man, aggressive on that line, and then brings it on in. Great job by Lands, and Jimenez drops into formation, but that was definitely an exclamation point and risking it there.
He really tied the knot on
Yeah.
the end of that run. Like,
that was sick.
It's kind of that advantage you're talking about, the tire life, being able to go in there as the lead driver with fresh tires. So look at here, as Jimenez kind of a failure to launch, absent in the outer zone 1, does a decent job of mimicking the transition and getting back in his chase lane, as Lance does a great job here, kind of massaging without disrupting the car, looking like a lot of wavering as he sets himself up for outer zone 4. Jimenez still kind of struggling to gain some real estate.
You want a 180 SX, huh?
The angle through that outer zone.
Yeah, it is a nice build. It is a nice
What Joe's got
build.
to say about that as we sit and wait.
Okay, slide him left for Lewis Lance. Congratulations.
Yep.
A great effort by Jimenez. We'll see him in Utah. But Lance, like we said, that was a great outside zone 4. I think that really just solidified the deal. What have you done for me lately? Here, I'll show you. This is what I've done. All right, let's throw that back down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette?
Hey guys, well, Human Rahimi saw battle
I'm thinking about
Alan Boss in New Jersey.
either starting off with the Z build or going full on rental with the new Mustang Dark Horse.
Car actually didn't get that much
That comes fully drift ready, around to 500 to 600 horsepower, drift ready with the handbrake in it and everything. And just tore that apart and get like a RTR body kit on it. And, I don't know. It's going to be expensive, very, very expensive, but it's basically a drift car ready to go.
Out the cockpit, that anti-gravity battery with the plaid livery. And this is the one more time battle of Johnson and Hop. So hopefully both these guys, a little cleansing, maybe a little Reiki. I don't know what they're doing down there. I don't know if they just doing a little seance or something. Just cleanse the soul because they are ready to go back at it. I think both of them got a little bit of a second chance here in those chase positions. So here we go. Brian Hop chasing down Mr. Johnson.
Oh,
tip the tail. He is aggressive.
let's go. NASCAR living going crazy.
As Brian Hop jumps in, Johnson with that fiery nose. But Hop, speaking of nose, he needs to get that proximity. You can see him jump in and then has to jump back. Now in this last outside zone,
oh yeah, the driver in the NASCAR livery definitely has amazing lead runs. He just has to work on his chase runs. His chase runs is not the greatest. He's got to practice those.
Quirky, fun-loving dude, man. He's like a Spencer Gift on legs.
I think he's
he's having a lot of fun.
I think he's harnessing all that cat energy on the roof of his car. You see
Big
that?
cat energy. Oh,
little contact here on the run up here, but it didn't seem to alter anything with the lead run as Jerry does a good job outside zone 1. Hop doing a little struggle here on the outside zone 2 in the chase position as Jerry does a good job. Could have used a little more angle going through outer zone 3 in my opinion. Does a good job of transitioning here, and Hop still kind of on the backside of there, but staying in the frame. I really like Jerry's approach here as far as getting into outer zone 4. You know, decelling after the transition decelling after the transition and then applying the pressure in the outer zone 4. And Hop still kind of he did clean up his chase.
He did an amazing lead run, and look at this chase.
You just said about 82%.
The chase is not going to be so as great. It's always like people can do very good in lead runs, but chasing is the hard part.
A lot of them running those big, huge air cleaners here. Brian Hop leading it out, and again, Jerry Johnson.
Oh my God! I thought they hit each other there. There we go. Let's see. Oh, he's staying with him this time. Okay, he locked in this time around.
The whiskers sticking out. See if he can feel his way into the outside
zone. Come on, bring it in. Yeah, took a little short right there.
Now in that last outside zone 4, Hop.
Oh, that's his win. That's points lost right there. That's definitely NASCAR livery driver's win.
That is the finish line. Drift through there, shut her down.
Yeah, I think they both had kind of new life here, Jerry.
Chasing is just not easy.
They shook off the nerves here.
It's just something you gotta build over time.
High horsepower machine there, but he didn't utilize it on the run up here as they does a little.
Yeah, appreciate you for watching the stream, Sama.
But he does make it up for the second half.
Join the stream back whenever you can or feel like it.
Both companies in the lead.
Catch you later.
A little more angle and aggression here as they get the momentum going into outer zone 4.
Just watching a little bit of FD, trying to catch up with what's happening with this PROSPEC drivers.
Coming out of outside zone 1, you can see Jerry.
Now I know about all the pro drivers. They're very good. Everybody knows about them. But these guys are the future of FD. I gotta get in line with knowing who's who.
In that transition and mimicking the angle, the car just need to be just a car width over to really, you know, stand out in that chase position.
To not make it an issue.
Yeah, like I feel like this could go either way. I really don't have any needle weight.
That lever is fire.
And this is the one more time battle. I feel like the third one, it's going to be flawless.
Okay.
You know, just given their first battle and now the second, the one more time here.
Yeah, we can let's focus on the chase runs. Yeah. Jerry did have a little mistake there. Both parties did, honestly, in outer zone 1. The mistake greater on Hops and going through outer zone 2. But Jerry, I feel like his temperament's just a little bit better. He's not looking as wavering. He's like, all right, I'm a little further behind, but I'm not going to make the car look upset or wavering. But
yeah, this one's going to be a tricky one for the judges. I can't tell.
Piece of dirt there as Jerry gives chase.
I still feel like Johnson, 97, definitely. I feel like that should go to him. Let's see.
So he got like thousands of cat photos
on
his roof. And Jerry Johnson, look at Mr. Whiskers right there. What's new, pussycat? A lot of cats on the roof. That's what's new. Jerry Johnson gets the victory over Hop Lamazian. Unfortunately, Brian Hollywood Hop is knocked out. I know he's got a champion in his ear, Chelsea Nova, doing double duty. He's
that intake is massive.
He's spotted for Ryan Turk, and I know Brian Hop is definitely capable of some great driving. Like I said, just bringing it all together and let it coagulate. But Jerry Johnson, The cat daddy, the whiskers are out.
Let's
so
go, Cameron.
Cody
He's
Buchanan
13,
and
people.
Cameron Sorensen.
13
Cameron
years
Sorensen,
old.
13 years young, going against Cody Buchanan. Definitely always a great interview. A lot of big personality there. Just has a lot of fun, but the fun needs to focus on just that focus. As he is up front, Cameron Sorensen. He did win in
there we go.
16-8 yesterday, solidifying his spot here in 32. Here comes Buchanan comes in like a
nice, Cameron.
outside zone.
On him.
You can see Cameron Sorensen buried in the
Let's go. Oh my.
good proximity, needs a tough back.
Oh yeah, he's on him. He's locked in.
Cody Buchanan massages it into the outside zone 3. Now transition outside zone 4.
No, he got lost in the smoke.
On the inside, Buchanan finds it all the way.
Oh man.
From 1 to 2, Cameron, how he navigated through that smoke.
He's learning. He's learning. He's still fresh.
Man, I was playing with garbage pail kids, I think, at that point, and just stickers or pogs or something like that. I don't know. Cameron Sorensen's driving a nearly 1,000 horsepower race car.
I was just skating with the homies at 13. Longboarding, skating, BMXing.
Yeah, look at that. The proximity they had in the run-up, and Buchanan just whipping that thing into outer zone 1. Look at this, coming out of the smoke and dials it back in really nice. I really like what Cameron Sorensen was doing there. And again, these guys are kind
He did lose a lot of points in that last zone, but if he can do like a crazy lead run where he makes the pink driver on a Z mess up, there's still a likely chance he's going to win. Now all he has to do is not throw a lot of angle on the initiation line when he did on sitting 16.
That's going to be a pretty decent deficit in that chase position.
Because he keeps throwing a lot of angle into that entry, and that's sending the back tires straight into the dirt and messing him up.
Cutie Buchanan right there, cannonball. All right, and yeah, Cody, we know how
All
he
right,
is
here
in
we
that
go.
chase position. He is definitely a threat for the
Come on,
championship.
don't swing, overswing it.
Buchanan chasing him.
Good.
And there's Cameron with that clean air. He goes past where
Gotta send it. Gotta make sure that person's not near you. Yeah, that Z is on him.
very fluid. Look at, I mean, both of them really locked and loaded. Dialed. They are on rails, coming to outside zone 4.
Oh, yeah.
Aggressive and dramatic as Cameron Sorensen. Cameron, a great lead.
The win goes to the Z.
Has a talent. He is absolutely.
He did great. He did great though.
And he is in the room, man. So congratulations to Cameron Sorensen, just being here, putting on a competition, a fun-loving young man. But let's look at it again.
Yeah, as great as that lead run is,
That initiation was a lot better in the seating.
But here you can see the proximity. It could have been a little better through Buchanan. He does a good job of transitioning, not as aggressive as Cameron's in there in 1-2, but both drivers smooth into outer zone 3 as they pour on the smoke here, getting themselves set up for outer zone 4. Buchanan, I think his spotter probably was telling him, hey, don't go full ham sandwich here. We just need to get a good usual chase. Don't do anything too radical. I think that's what he did right there, and he did it well because there's nothing really to take away that was really bad. Yes, it could have been closer, but this is what he needed to do to have just that edge and maybe clean it up for the next run if he goes on. So you can see Buchanan here getting that transition and that rear right tire of Cameron Sorensen's BMW as they do the transition. Mimics it very well, just maybe a hair lazy, but we won't take that away as his position was really well through outside zone 4. And again, hats off to Sorensen with that good lead run. I just don't think it's going to be the edge he's going to need to win.
We will see, and it's not up to us. Vernon, Brian, and Reese scrutinizing the runs, and Cody
goes to Cody.
Unfortunately, that mistake by Cameron Sorensen, that was a large mistake on the outside zone 4. Hats off to him. We will see him in Utah, but Cody Buchanan gets the victory and moves on to the 8.
His rear tire, is it just his rear tires is smaller than his fronts? Okay. Or is it just a camera angle? I don't know.
Seating brackets.
It looks.
In the Taxi Garage FC RX-7, and Colin Zielinski locked and loaded, finishing 12th at our previous round in New Jersey.
Yeah, I feel like Kaufman kind of just blossomed last
Got
night.
that bubblegum livery.
That thing was just ripping out of the line, and look at here, just chasing down Mr. Ruth here, just putting on the proximity. And such a short wheelbase car. I didn't realize this and how short the wheelbase is on those FCs. They're like just a little longer than a Miata.
Yeah.
It's insane what he can do with that car because it can be very twitchy. So look at that, just pulling away from that high horsepower Z of Justin Ruth. And again here.
And then this is where, yeah, Cameron send it.
And against Shelly Hansen yesterday as well. As you can see, that thing just lighting off and He's got that car set up really well, so it's going to be really neat to see what he does here against Zielinski.
And there it is, taking out Shelly Hansen, and Shelly just great attitude. She's already in the, look at Zielinski there. Looks like, again, we always joke in a lighthearted way. It looks like a Harry Potter, man, so we'll see what
Yep, exactly. I said it the first time I saw that, man. It was like Harry Potter.
We'll see how he navigates this.
There we go.
Going against Kaufman, who's got that momentum, as you say, from last night. The Fitment Industries vehicle now coming that first outside zone. And you can
Lovely initiation in the first zone. That was beautiful. Zielinski's area.
You can see those Fitment Industries wheels just countered properly, looking good. Outside zone 4, that hump right there, not even playing a role. Zielinski, I mean, that was really, really well done.
That was wow.
Deeper into outside zone 4, but the fluidity overall looked very confident.
Yeah, it was very smooth. Very little wavering, weeble, wobbling, whatever. He did a good job of putting the spell on that car, as you may say. But Kaufman kind of showed a little bit of temperament here. I think he was kind of feeling Zielinski out. I don't know how many practice laps he got against him, but he did come up short there in outer zone 1, and he did a decent job of transitioning here. You can see Zielinski a little late to fire off that Nissan as he powers through outer zone 3, and Kaufman waiting to attack here as he does a really good job of mimicking that transition. He just needed to be a little closer to start with, and I think that would have put the cherry on top of that chase position of Kaufman. So take another look here. Left foot braking almost all the way through that outer zone 1 as they transition into 2. You can see Kaufman there putting himself back in the pocket, which is a skill that I'm not even sure all the things you have to do to kind of reverse the car back in that pocket. That's very commendable. So as we can see, Zielinski.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most.
Finishing out that smooth run, and Kaufman still in frame, even that close of Justin Smash. So let's see what Kaufman does on front. I'm excited to see this rocket ship out of the chicane, Jared.
And like you said, I think it's just the tolerances. Like Kaufman had it right there. Just you know, just one more little notch on the belt. Here we go. Now Kaufman's got the clean air. He's out front of the FCR.
There we go.
Waves in the wind. Zielinski drops into formation, and you can see that confidence.
Oh!
Zielinski rotates.
He overswung it.
Lead run. If Kaufman continues on with the course, that is going to.
He overswung it. That's crazy.
Zielinski. And Kaufman completes it. What an upset here. Zielinski in the Fitment Industries S chassis rotates, spins on the transition from 1 to 2. The confidence was in his corner, but unfortunately he spins.
They gotta ask him what happened there. Did he just over clutch it or over left foot brake?
Zielinski, he will knock himself out, and Kaufman, he will get handed the victory because, you know, great driving by Kaufman, but Zielinski, unfortunately, here you go, bud.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just truly unfortunate. He was setting himself up.
Oh yeah, he.
Maybe unwound.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's he left foot braked right there, just a little too much.
Oversteer on him, and
or maybe he clutch kicked it and swung the wheel a little too much.
Zone 2 is trying to time that transition and maybe not come out for it, but the car just
yeah, he just clutch kicked it a little too much. Okay. Because otherwise, if he had left foot brake, the lights would have come on at the back.
The verdict, but you have to assume. And let's make it official. Slide him left for Zielinski or right for the Taxi Garage FCRX7. Ryan Kaufman gets the victory. Congratulations to Kaufman. I'm gutted for Zielinski, but let's throw down to Lorette Nickel with another female who is in the mix.
She's in the mix, and the team and herself have done amazing things in 10 days from New Jersey when you were up on the wall. Colette, tell us the story of that to getting here today in St. Louis.
Honestly, the past couple weeks have been a complete blur, but we basically went from finding a chassis in the swamp to testing FD Spec ready car in about 10 days. So I can't thank my incredible team enough, and all of our friends and partners that have come on board to help make this possible. This is absolutely insane, and we just turned a step back into a massive level up, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Incredible. We're so happy you're here too. We'll see you in top 16. Guys.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Congrats, Colette Davis. She's a busy gal. Did she say she got the motor from a swamp?
No, the roller, the chassis was from a swamp.
Oh, like the motor? All right, that's a weird one. Yeah, we used a fan.
Yeah, that crash was nasty.
The airboat?
The airboat, thank you. Yeah, just like that.
Looking for the gators.
Yeah, and Fitment Industries has been documenting her and Zielinski's tales. So there it is, thumbs up. She took a hard hit. She you know, did that 50-50 wall ride there in Jersey on that last outside zone. But we're officially halfway through our 32. It's a Chen out of Chen. We'll see if he lives up to that nickname versus DJ Stubbsat. You talked about this yesterday in closing, and this should be a fun one. Nate Chen talking about that rising occasion. Stubbsat, definitely a wild card.
Yeah, we know.
First outside zone, you can see Chen fixated, eyes on the prize. Stubbsat, you can see him kind of stabbing back and forth, and now it looks like he found the sweet spot coming to outside zone 3 as Cole Richards, you know, only pretty much 3 transitions here. Can now transition that last outside zone. Chen puts it exactly where it needs to be. Talking about, you know, the professionalism and rising to the occasion, I feel like Chen is having more fun than previous years, and this is almost like a Frederick Osbo, where Osbo serious, does that. And starting the season, Osbo, that seems to be his mindset. Having fun, feeling, going with the flow versus so tense. Chen, he's a party, man.
Yeah, DJ did it. I mean, that rocket ship, Nate Chen's vehicle is set up, and he does a waver a bit in the chase position here. Subset tries to make up for it as Chen does a great job. Smooth transition. You can see hardly any inputs in the car as they get through outer zone 3. Substat doing his best to stay in the fight here as they get through outer zone 3. He did that proximity against that Chen, because that Chen, you know, is going to put on one heck of a chase if he's allowed to by Substat. So let's turn it, reverse it, give Substat that clean air in the Z and see what happens.
Chen finishing second in New Jersey. That's why he's in this position, and I think that's a real confidence builder, a testimonial to his progression as a driver, all the things, having fun, doing events like Drift Appalachia. He's doing, you know, the gambler events at E-Town and Englishtown. He's getting a lot of seat time. He's having, you know, his program being elevated, but like I said, concurrently, just has a good, fun-loving attitude. I think that really complements, you know, his seriousness and lighthearted fun. All right, so Stubbsat out front fills that first outside zone, and like I said, it is really going to be one from that chase position. Chen does not fill all outside zone 2, but you like the proximity, you like the aggression, and again, compare that lead versus lead, chase versus chase, outside zone 4, Chen risks it, drops in, and that was, again, that's really going to solidify. That is that X factor and showing you the confidence and that prowess, just dropping it on into outside zone 4. It gave me chills because that could have easily spun and rotated because...
If you're getting spammed by your car insurance shopping sites with annoying calls like these, that means you probably didn't use the right app for buying insurance.
How much tire is left?
Exactly, Jared. We'll talk about that tire management in a bit here as we look at Stubbstat's lead against Chen here. You can see he's even left foot braking there, but he set himself up pretty decent for the rest of the run. You know, as far as Stubbstat, very little wavering here, but Chen, a little proximity gain over Stubbstat's chase, but you can see him just ready to attack here. He waits, boom, right there, almost over rotates, betters the angle from Stubbstat, and pulls it better.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you can see left foot braking, but I really like Chen's temperament here. You know, he's been in a few years here in PROSPEC, but you can see him just kind of slowly reeling it here, and you can see, also look at the proximity here right before he just waits to get down that right side. Boom. Perfect positioning there, and trusting the car that had enough grip in the tires and the suspension to just pull that maneuver off, because when you lead first, the tires usually don't have as much tread or life as if you were to chase first. You know what I mean? So awesome run by both gentlemen here. Let's see what happens.
Here we go. So slide him left for Nate Chen. That's an
Let's go, Nate Chen.
You can see him giving his flowers, but Nate Chen earning a little ka-chow from Lightning McSopa over here. Looked like he got a little excited, and again, those guys, I love the camaraderie there, where it's like game, respect, game. Great run there, and you know, I would say that Chen had a great chase run because he was confident in chasing down DJ Stubbstat, and that was a very dynamic, fun battle. This is how our top 16 bracket is shaping up. As you can see, we are more than halfway through our top 32 at round 3 of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship, and we're getting our next vehicles ready. So you can see Colette Davis in the mix. We have earlier, we're going to see, had some words with Shelly Hansen, but some great driving here. There is Mr. Lanz. Lanz's Corvette sitting in the cockpit. He just took out Nick Jimenez, if you're just tuning in and missed that. But he is in the Great 8. Can exhale a little bit. He'll hear his name ring through Worldwide Technology Raceway and our driver introduction later on today. So be sure to check the schedule. But next up, Chris
oh, cool. There's like 5 Mustang drivers now. Okay.
In that donut
I'm glad to see a lot of more Mustang chassis lately.
Jump around. Might as well jump. I was going more like, you know, butt rock kind of, you know.
Yacht rock.
Yeah, I was going more butt rock. You might as well jump. Who's that? Is that
Eddie Van Hagar?
I didn't get to see Chris in the seating positions.
Yeah.
And you know, you could go crisscross if you want to.
Applesauce. All right.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Tell me you have a little boy back at home without telling me you have a little boy back at home.
Oh, we know. But yeah, I think after that, spotters and drivers take notes of where you need to put that car in that chase position. I kind of wanted to back up there.
Which one?
Chen's. Yeah, dude, that's where that car needed to be. And the lead, you know, that's also, you know, everything was just perfect for him to pull that off. But
yep. All right, so there he goes. Matt says it. Take note. That chase job by Chen. That's one to follow, no pun intended. Here we go. Leonard aggressive on initiation outside zone 1. Knappich rolls into it. I think that's a smart, tempered approach because you don't know what Leonard's going to do. How much track time has he had? And his spotter, Jason, taking notes. Leonard, good angle there. Knappich keeping proximity, needs to drop in, get into that pocket. Looks like he's kind of just on the outside, standing on the wall at a high school dance.
Lovely control.
Yeah, come on in, get in this party.
He looked so relaxed with that Mustang drive. Like the way he drove that Mustang looked so relaxed.
Let's go.
Way better than the other drivers I've seen so far.
Chris Leonard here really pouring on the angle from that Mustang. And
yeah, looked just so relaxed.
I think this is a good strategy here. Kind of do a
it always gets streaky around there because of how close it is to this first zone.
The proximity to that wall, really deep in outer zone 3. Knappich,
yeah, that was one relaxed looking driving right there. He wasn't twitchy in the front. He wasn't like hitting the left foot braking or like just trying to adjust the car in any means. He was just letting it do its thing, controlling the throttle.
Still kind of sacrificing some angle and line to gain that proximity as Leonard throws it in outer zone 4.
Now, a lot of drivers are good at leading. Now, let's look at this chase. Is he able to keep it near the car? And
in that donut S14, some lead run time.
Yeah, and you wonder, you know, Chris was really aggressive up front. How is he going to do in the chase position? Maybe kind of just throwing it all out there, and, you know, can he back it up with a solid chase run? Knappich, we saw him kind of roll into it now, a lot more confident up front. So here it is, Leonard, that chase position, falls back, but then he regains some ground. Not a whole lot, a couple car lengths here, but Knappich, good angle. And look at that's what I was thinking. Is Leonard put down a solid lead run, but here in the chase,
I called it. A lot of drivers are good at leading, but when it comes to the chasing part, that's the hard part.
This is what I was talking about, and as we whittle it down and get it down to a concentrated 16, eventually 8-4, and obviously the winners, that chase position with only those outside zone 4.
That's why I feel like being aggressive as soon as off the line is a great risk to take.
And adapting to that lead car, that's really going to highlight the driving prowess of why you should be on the podium, why you should reek of champagne.
What up, Kid 87? What's my wheel setup like with the wheelbase? It's a MOZA R5 bundle, first gen.
The rest of the outer zones, and I think Chris just missed that opportunity and just could not close the gap on Knappich in that S14 and had a little wavering there. Just not usually what we see from Leonard all day in practice the past couple days, and I think that's going to be the end of his story here. But we'll let the judges decide that as we take another look from Justin as we roll through outer zone 1. And you can see Leonard was showing his temperament there, but then his transition was just a little too late going into outer zone 2. A little wavering in the lead, but you know, with Leonard not really in the frame, it really didn't affect the chase driver at all as he's just trying to gain that real estate, getting through the finish line. So I feel we kind of know who has an advantage here. Let's the judges make up their mind.
You can see over their shoulder right now, and they're going to take a look at that.
Well,
racing side by side.
If you already have a Logitech, then let's say you purchased a Logitech a long time ago, just to play like Forza Horizon stuff, that's already a good start on, you know, being more comfortable on the wheel. And then after, next thing to like take it seriously, either with racing or drifting or whatever category of you know, racing you want to do, it will be the R3 for budget wise, R3. But if your budget isn't an issue, then obviously you can go with something more like a R9 or R12.
What comes out of that, Knappich?
But budget wise, R3, R5, just fine.
Two hot rods on the line.
I compete in drift competitions and everything with my R5, and I do great. So you don't need anything crazy, but I have driven the Sim Magics and the crazy MOZA force feedback wheels before, and it is a lot more snappy and a lot more wheel feeling. So definitely worth it. You know, I'll be upgrading my wheelbase one day soon too. I've had this one for like 4 or 5 years now. So, no, first thing I want to do is get the new CRP2 from MOZA. I'm getting those soon. And then once I upgrade that, then pretty much the last thing to upgrade would be the base. And then I'll probably go with the R12 or probably R16, something crazy.
Even though we built it pretty similar, it was very different, and it's like a new horse trying to tame it. But we're getting the hang of it. I'm really happy that we were able to put down a decent run today and make it through top 16.
I drift in BeamNG. BeamNG is good for drifting car-wise. It's the ingenuity of the game within to give feedback within the wheel is the issue. Like, they've really made it good over the years. So last time I played it felt okay, not perfect, but if they can really just outlook any other updates and really just focus on that and how to make the wheel experience better, then they will have a lot more drivers from Assetto Corsa, iRacing, and all these other places coming onto the BeamNG marketing if they really focus on that. But they're too busy focusing on tires. Because that's the new big DLC that's coming up, the whole new tire stuff. So whenever they decide to really focus on fixing up the wheel stuff, then that's on them. So whenever they feel like doing that, because that's what I feel like they should do. Once they do that, they will have a lot of new players coming into the BeamNG market. Because right now all they have is controller players. Controllers and keyboard, because every time I hop into the BeamNP Discord, that's all it is. They don't know nothing about the wheelbases and stuff like that.
Checking all those boxes and doing what you need to do. But Ruger, you can see out of frame here, and then boom, just like a magician came up there, stayed in the pocket, and
because BeamNG has so much potential on the sim market. Because when I watch Turnkey, when I watch their videos and stuff, they had this one videos when the homie was in a flight rig flying over the other homie who was driving a rally car within the BeamNG, and it was just insane. Like, BeamNG has so much potential for all this stuff right here, but they're focusing on, like, I guess they're controller and keyboard players. I don't know. If they can focus on the flight stuff, flight equipment from Thrustmaster and MOZA and many other flight companies, wheelbases, they can just focus on that and dial those in. Then a lot of people will be talking about BeamNG. Oh yeah, you want to get into sim flying or something? BeamNG. Oh, you want to drift? BeamNG. The real tires, they get damages, but they're not doing that. So that's why nobody talks about them like that.
We got a clean start. Carson initiates, into that first outside zone. Alex Jaeger drops into formation, gives himself a little.
But yeah, drifting in BeamNG is possible. I do it all the time. It's just the wheel doesn't feel great.
Outside zone 3, Carson puts it to the wall, and Alex Jaeger's right there, giving himself a little bit of room into the last outside zone 4. And it looks like Carson.
Now that I'm a mom, things are, well, different. I have twice as many outfits to.
Little bit of controlled chaos there. We had a few different angles.
Oh, there goes that car. That's one of Chris Forsberg's new drivers. I haven't just finally able to see this guy drive.
What was telling there, because in that outside zone 4, you saw Carson initiate. Alex is right there. Don't know if Carson was completely in control going across that.
I couldn't tell if he spun out or not, but let's take another look here at our truth serum, as you like to call it. And decent job here. Temperament showing.
We got one of RCP's drivers and one of Chris Forsberg's drivers going at it.
Really caught up and had a lot more proximity over Jaeger's chase, but look at that proximity to that wall in hour zone 3 as Ruger brings it around. Jaeger almost over rotating as well as Ruger, so that's why we don't judge that. If whether it's he did unwind the car, but it wasn't the usual factor.
the technique, and this is just something over the years that has developed, and we've seen it in pro, and then obviously you need to have control and drift across the line.
Yeah, I mean,
it's clinical as that. So
was he out of control there?
I don't think he was out of control, but you saw him kind of like grab the rope.
Yeah, it was definitely at the limit.
Yeah. So again, love Carson, really talented driver. We can see that. So slide him left for Jaeger or right for Carson Ruger. And Alex Jaeger, we saw a really good chase run from Jaeger. And look at that. And so much so that Reese said, hey, let's go one more time. But it looks like Vernon and Brian sided with Alex Jaeger. You know, as good and a good lead run as Ruger had, I got to say, I really liked Jaeger's chase, and Carson cross that finish line.
Let's go, Shelly!
Be a little more in control.
Yeah, I think if you look at it as an overall picture, that Jaeger did a better job.
All right, Shelly Hansen and what do we call him? The Admiral?
Commander Stewart.
Commander, excuse me. Put some more respect on it. My bad. The Commander. Josh Stewart here. You can see the Corvette coming to the line. Again, I love just the progression. Like, Corvettes are, you know, available. The price point has gone down because once you get just the chassis, then you start throwing all the parts at it, and then it just starts ding, 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 just running up. Here comes Shelly out of the burnout box. You can just see her out of the corner of her eye, and she'll come into the screen here. But Shelly Hansen, as Lorette talked to her at the top of the show, feeling some momentum, and she had, just like I said, these grains of sand that could definitely become pearls, talking about we are problem solvers, you know, and you learn a lot. She's really taken it on the chin, and a great attitude from Shelly Hansen. So Josh Stewart will lead, and Shelly Hansen will chase him down.
Yeah, Jared, a lot of the mindset with the Corvettes coming, you like, you start with a race car first instead of like a sports car.
Okay.
You know, that's been the mentality I've heard from a lot of these Corvette drivers, that you get a little head start with that chassis.
That is because it was somebody like Dirk Stratton that we saw in Pro-Am or Pro 2.
Pro, man.
And then eventually, no, but I'm just saying elevating to Pro. But that's where I really saw a Corvette rise, you know, and then Matt Field made it, refined a little better. And now, like, you know, I would say between E36, E46s, and Corvettes, they're like the new S chassis.
Yeah.
You know, so 370Z's peppered in there as well. But here we go. So talking about the
What up? Here we go, Shelly. Let's go.
So, all stand for Josh Stewart. Shelly Hansen, she's gonna
get aggressive. Stay there.
Outside zone 2, and it looks like bangs it.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. That's what I want to see from PROSPEC drivers. They're scared to do that right there. If you get contact, oh well, contact.
Stewart straightened out, so
did he? We'll see.
Well, going to outside zone 2, it looked like he not straightened out, but obviously the car got disrupted.
So whose fault is it? Shelly's or
we can put that on him.
This guy?
But after the fact, yeah.
Let's watch it over. There we go. Oh, a little twitchy there by Shelly, but
just awesome, and a good transition by both parties. Deep in the outer zone 2. The car did continue to drift. He went off course there. Shelly's trying to stay in the game, but then punted him again.
Watch the smoke signal of Stewart coming out of outside zone 2. It looked like,
okay.
So watch this. And again, that's not a criteria, but it's an indication of slowing or straightening. So Shelly offline, Stewart hits.
Okay.
You know, again, correction.
Okay, so Stewart, he did fine. He flicked into it and controlled it. What a lot of people do in that corner right there is slow down, so that's what Shelly was expecting him to slow down, so she already pulled back just in case. But he didn't slow down. He kept, you know, he flicked it, saved it, kept going.
One of those areas where,
which she was not expecting, because a lot of drivers right there, since that second zone comes at you so quick, you have to like initiate a handbrake pull or a left foot brake. So that's what she was expecting. But yeah, if he had kissed that wall and didn't hit the wall heavy, that would have been an insane run.
Momentum. Where are you allowed to essentially slow down, or basically you want to be fluid through the course?
Yeah, usually it's right after where we expect them to transition is where you're going to expect a slowdown.
All right.
Style and substance. In the GM.
Well, as they head over to the pit, let's throw it down to Lorette, who is with just an absolute ball of energy, Mr. Cody Buchanan.
He is, and he's amazing. And I was trying to convince him to adopt the foster puppy that I just took in, but I got adopted to a good friend, Danny. Cody Buchanan, what's going on here in St. Louis?
It is hot, like very hot. I'm overheating, car is fine, and I am cursed when everybody leads me. Earlier today, Human went off in outer one when I was following in practice, and his car literally went over my car. Like I saw underneath his car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But you didn't sustain any damage.
No, I think he landed on my rear or my front tire, but he just like rolled off.
That's
so, like,
crazy.
We got scrapes, but everything is great.
Another moment like Rome and James Dean.
Yeah, 100%, except it was the rear, not the front.
Mm.
Yeah, of course.
No, you're good. Keep.
Well, what else about the car? Is everything running to your specifications?
For the most part, yeah, the car is great. It's all just the mental game, you know. Every time I think I suck, I'm probably not sucking that bad, but in the car it feels like it's really bad.
Well, I don't think you suck as a driver, so let's get that out of your head, okay?
Thank you. I'll try.
Well, Cody Buchanan is going to try, and we really appreciate the effort, this guy here moving forward.
Like I said, a ball of energy. All right, well, we'll take a short break.
Yep, that mental game could be going crazy.
Brutski versus Habich. We got Miles Rawlings, Amanda Sorensen versus Wills, and Root versus Bystrack.
Oh, that was it for top 32, right? Oh, not yet. We still got a couple more drivers to go.
Link ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Okay, come on. We don't got all day.
Like St. Louis, everything is so crazy.
We know Brutski, multiple-time champion, and look at that. Jason comes in. The Havoc looks like more of a good Havoc than a bad Havoc.
Yeah, it looks like he found some of Nate Chen's notes there in that position there, Jared. That was well done, and well done by Brutski in the lead. Let's break it down. Havoc a little failure launch, could have used a little more proximity as they initiated. You can see him trying to gain some ground here as our former champion and defending is trying to navigate his way into that pocket in the chase position as Brutski brings it around, pouring on that GT radial smoke as they get through outer zone 3. Havoc getting a little ahead of the pocket there, times his transition a little later, but it kind of paid off as I don't want to say a lazy transition from Brutski there, but it could have been a little snappier to give us that wow factor. But we can take a look at our chase cam here from Justin. Havoc getting through that smoke just a little
Oh,
back in. Brutski,
that was close. He almost cut him off.
Through outer zone 3 just a little bit as Havoc struggling to kind of find his place in that chase pocket as they get through outer zone 4 and through the finish line. So let's give that highlighter S13 coupe some clean air, as we like to say, and see what he gives Brutski for a lead run.
Yes, sir. Attaboy, here we go. So again, Havoc out front. Brutski, you know he's capable of. He's very familiar with this vehicle. Havoc rips up and rips up. Does not fill all of that first outside zone. That's really going to just affect the entirety of this run, because once you start, you're kind of going off trend. But now look at Havoc. He massages it into outside zone 3.
It might be Havoc. Oh, that was close. It might be Havoc's win because Havoc's lead run looks a lot more better. But then again, Havoc was not following pretty well when it came to the other driver. So it still might go to Havoc because that's how these judges are sometimes, you know. They rather look at your style. Oh, he missed the whole first zone. I did not see that from the camera's perspective. Yeah. Where's the BC Racing side by side? You gotta see it side by side.
zone 1.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go to Havoc, but it might go to the BMW. Yeah.
It looks like he is knocked out.
Yeah, I did not see that initiation, missing the whole zone. That's crazy.
Brudski gets the win in that boring dot ride, a private car collection, so be sure to check that out. Havoc non-stop tuning, unfortunately, coming to a stop this event, but we'll see him in Utah. So Havoc, great attitude, and
Mom, can I have an underwater alien tea party birthday?
AI that one.
oh man, Kaufman down there with Lorette. You can see the excitement there from the Taxi Garage pilot, Lorette.
First time.
Josh Stewart. Yeah, that wall tap. So yeah, that really messed things up there from Stewart. So Stewart went into the wall. There's the Taxi Garage boys. If you don't know Taxi Garage, take a look on social media. They modify crazy carts, and some of the machines they build are so stinking cool. All right, here we go. So Shelly Hansen now out front, and Stewart in the chase position.
Just kidding.
Psych.
Sleeping.
Ooh. Wake up.
Here, she needs some rock star.
A little makeup. Hey, taking a photo of the Red Nickel. The salmon pants are making their way. She showed up, had the rose glasses, the kicks, the bow and the hair.
Taking a look back here at that incident, you can see Josh Stewart getting a piece of that wall and couldn't quite keep the car in play as Shelly was expecting that thing to kind of take off there. That you can't have a decel there, so definitely a deficit from Camp Stewart as Shelly will get the clean here on the second attempt to start.
And let's see, there it is. She made her flight, didn't oversleep, didn't hit that snooze button on this run here. Shelly Hansen out front of the team. Oh, and Stewart comes in hot. I thought he was going to get and actually have contact, but Shelly avoids that, or she was just keep on keeping on. Doesn't matter what happens out back. Hansen running her own line, and he keeps on. The Commander in the chase. Here comes Hansen. Ooh, wow. Sheesh. That loosey-goosey. That I was nervous for both of them.
Yeah.
Stewart more so in the beginning, and then Hansen there at the end at outside zone 4.
There's just like all this violence behind Shelly that never affected her.
No.
It was interesting to see, but that's what Stewart.
But heroes don't look at explosions.
That's right.
Right.
I mean, hand it to Stewart. This is what he needed to do. He needed to be aggressive. Was it too much? Probably. But you can't force an error by hitting someone off the track. You got to let them have their lead run, and that's exactly what Stewart did and what Shelly did in that lead position as she rounds out through our zone 3, and Stewart did a great job transitioning here, but with that deficit in his lead position is just going to be too little, too late. And for Commander Stewart, we'll take another look here as he drops into that St. Louis dirt and does a good job of anticipating the transition here as he gained some proximity. Shelly doing her own thing, like you said. Could have been in our zone 3 a little earlier, but something to clean up for, I'm assuming top 16. That's the way it's going to go as we find out the results here.
She might have, captured him with the, obviously put him in a spell with that
little razzle dazzle.
Yeah, that little quarter glass right there. You're getting sleepy. You're going off the course. Let's see. Talking about razzle dazzle, looks like we're downloading. Looks like Max Headroom livery there from the Commander Josh Stewart. He got into a tussle with that wall, and evidence of that you can see. Got the sweepers out there. We got the track Zambonis. Man, they got all the fans out there.
See that grader? That thing is a really cool piece of equipment.
By the way, speaking of fans, have you tried that Viper fan? VYPER. They make the stools. They have a fan that.
Oh, I haven't.
Bro, it's amazing. Shout out to Viper. I know a lot of these guys, Viper's been supporting a few of the drivers, so I got a fan here. And speaking of fan, if you're a Hansen fan, you're stoked. Shelly Hansen gets the victory. The Commander, unfortunately, knocked out. And talking to the judges here openly, I assume that hit straightening out, and then obviously on that first initiation by Stewart, a combination of both of those, and they're giving me a head nod. So, love to dive deeper, kind of when it's necessary, but just confirming that was the fact. So, yeah, Stewart hitting that wall on that first battle, disrupting, and then chase position, overcooking it. Shelly Hansen did everything she needed to do. Heroes don't look at explosions. She didn't look back, and she looked forward, and she is looking forward, moving on to the 16. So 3 more battles left. We have Dustin Miles versus Rawlings, Amanda Sorensen versus Brian Zero Chill Wills, Trevor Root, the Root is on fire, and Mr. Matthew Bystrack. So there's 3 battles, obviously 6 drivers, and there we are looking at Drifter Girl. This is Kelsey Rawlings going against Styles for Miles. Dustin Miles debuting a really cool new helmet. I saw that on social media. I was like, bro, yeah, like really. The artist that did it won a competition and da-da-da-da. And, you know, I just love all the different facets of it. So Dustin Miles debuting a cool new helmet.
Maybe we can take a look at that. Yeah.
He's not running the mismatched high-vis wheels. And here are the current Drivers' Championship standings. So Brutski leads. This is after today's results.
Okay.
So, you know, how do they accumulate points?
So every battle won awards that driver 10 points, whether it's a buy run or you actually won your battle.
Yep.
Versus like our seeding, you only get 3. So as you can see, the mix up in the bottom half there, you can see there's not the factor of 10, but Shelly Hansen's in there in the top 15, and so on and so forth. So every battle counts. In the previous years, you could just show up and kind of get some points.
Yeah.
Now you got to win.
You got to win in order to advance on, or as you said, that bears repeating, a buy run. If you advance on and you don't have a competitor, you advance on. So Dustin Miles, Kelsey Rawlings, and Kelsey does hit a cone, but she is the chase vehicle. Miles comes in that first outside zone. Kelsey Rawlings does almost gets involved in the dirt, but does not. Ooh, Dustin, that looks sketchy. I thought he was going to go into that wall. Very aggressive is Dustin Miles, and he does go into that wall, but that was, again, that Styles for Miles into that last outside zone 4, comes in and it comes out of it, but a very aggressive, quick Dustin Miles. And Kelsey Rawlings, she was back there. I want to see that overhead view of the placement of both vehicles, but
on the initiation, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like Miles was almost a lane to driver left than normal initiations that we've seen. Like, he started it way left.
But he brought it in.
Yeah, Rawlings did a good job of kind of adapting to that and did a great job being aggressive in that chase position. I was not expecting that, to be honest, with looking at practice. And Miles getting a little piece of that outer zone 3, and Rawlings does a good job here, getting a little further back in the pocket, makes up the ground. Miles also pretty shallow into that outer zone 4, as Kelsey is also right there with him. So let's give that S14 the chance for some clean air and a lead run to give Dustin Miles.
So, how waterproof is the Bearskin Heavy Storm Packable Rain Jacket? Why not take a look and see for yourself? This is the ultimate hiking grade tactical rain jacket that's built for city living too. Why? Because it's light enough to unfold from your pocket or backpack, but strong enough to handle a storm. It's the only 5-pocket rain jacket that comes with a 10,000 millimeter heavy storm waterproof rating to keep you 100% dry wherever you are. Thousands of men around the world.
Kelsey Rawlings will lead Dustin Miles, giving chase. The battle truly won from that chase position. Let's see if Dustin can rise and Kelsey gets out unscathed. And like you said, aggressive on that chase position. She really did adapt to that far left. It's like he was about to miss the exit and he went, oh, here I'm going right.
His own art, yeah.
Yeah. All right, here goes Kelsey Rawlings in that first outside zone. Puts it really well done. Very, very clean, very nice. And Dustin Miles, he's back there quite a bit, and that's what we're talking about. So Kelsey pulling into outside zone 3. Dustin Miles, speaking of Miles, he is a mile away from Kelsey Rawlings, unfortunately. And Kelsey, very clinical, clean, didn't do anything extraneous, just put the car in the right places and just delivered a good, solid, and clinical lead run. Dustin Miles, surprisingly, was back there quite a bit, and especially after that. So giving her car a little love there. With the heart on the hood.
From what I've seen in practice, I'll be honest with you, I'll say it again, she stepped up tremendously here. Coming out of outer zone 1 a little early, kind of shallowing up an angle, but Miles not doing a very good job of adapting to that. She's filling up the zone there. Miles kind of over-rotating the car, trying to gain up position. She does come out of 3 just a touch early. We want him wide to set him up for 4. Kind of a lazier transition going into 4, but does check the boxes for the most part, as Miles just struggling as he's about a couple days behind Kelsey in this chase position. As we take another look from Justin Smash, and you can see Kelsey just wheeling that thing into outer zone 3. Dustin not even in the frame with this shot as we bring it around again. Want to see a little more aggression going into outer zone 4. That's what we're going to see the difference as we whittle down the field here, is how aggressive they come from 3 to 4 in that transition. We want to see them decel after that transition with intent. So taking a look at that's Jaggers, right? Yeah. Yep. So let's see what the judges have to say after Miles and Rawlings.
And we are taking a look at that all-new Z of Alex Jager, and here's our BC Racing Go for gold. Custom coilover, side by side.
Yeah, you can see Miles did fill out hours on one, but he did it in his own kind of arc from the initiation. But just looking at the sheer difference in aggression in that chase position between Rowlings and Miles is very vast here. And just the only thing to take away from Kelsey's lead is that kind of slow transition from 3 to 4. If Miles was closer to her in that position, it might have been an issue. But since he really wasn't in contention, it didn't matter. So let's see what the judges have to say and think about those 2 runs. Who's moving on?
Waiting for the verdict. 2 more battles left after this. Amanda Sorensen and Brian Wills. And then our final battle intended to be Trevor Root versus Matthew Bystrak.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe, founder and CEO of Viore, and today I'm excited to talk about the short that started it all.
I'll tell you what, I really like the modifications. The track setup has played a role here. Kelsey Rawlings gets gets 1 vote.
Oh, there we go.
2 votes. So very close for Kelsey Rawlings, and Dustin Miles almost forced to 1 more time. I would say at minimum it would go to 1 more time. I don't think
she was very shallow with her lead run, but she won because the other driver just couldn't keep up or adapt to her shallow style of driving.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Without talking,
but that won't work the second time around with the next driver if that driver is good. She has to do more angle.
Here is a history maker, Amanda Sorensen, the Rockstar Energy Drink pilot from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Why is Amanda Sorensen in PROSPEC?
Powered BMW, and she is going against Brian Wills. Amanda Sorensen.
Oh my God! Don't tell me her point system fell all the way down to PROSPEC again.
Amanda Sorensen coming down the chute and shooting and booting into that first outside zone. Now transitioning to outside zone 2. Wills gets to the side. As you can see, it's a nasty habit, and talking about drifting, clutch kicking into that 3rd outside zone. Now watch this transition outside zone 4. How is Amanda getting?
Okay, so if you're in the bottom of the points bracket from Pro, that pushes you back down to PROSPEC. Makes sense.
These vehicles are prepared to take a hit within reason. You know, was that enough to?
But once you be in PROSPEC, your skills is gonna elevate a lot more because you driving with the best of them. So you can already tell just by her driving that she's a pro driver already. But her point system not being so good dropped her back into PROSPEC. That's why you gotta keep those points.
A little bit of shallow angle there. She goes through outer zone 3, but good temper here. You can see the bonk here as they bring it through the outer zone 4. Wills, it kind of, you can see him back off after that contact. You're not sure how the lead car is going to react after an impact like that. We'll kind of deduce that later. As
yeah, you can just see from her transitioning, the control, how steady her car is, how you can tell the pro level. No, you drive with good drivers, you become a good driver yourself. So it's just.
I think that's the result of why he was kind of shallow there in the chase position in outer zone 4.
Yeah, I don't think the hit took. You know, I don't think it hit the wheel. You said NASCAR alignment. I don't know if it was the wheel out of sorts. Or
basically, she has to build her points back up again to go back to being pro. Oh! I did not see that from the corner. She saved it though.
We'll take a look. But
that hit was not a small hit. That was a hard hit.
There's that back right. So take a look here at the left when it rolls back. Inset. Yeah, it looks like she is. And I swear, it just always happens. Like, all right, here's second last battle, and it seems that we always end with the second to last battle. We seriously like, all right, here's what's intended to be our last battle. Well, it's not, and you know it could eventually be, but yeah,
that thing is messed up.
There's that left. We missed that back right. So
swing around there, Justin. Give us a good look at that rear.
Her driving at Drift Masters, doing a crazy lead run in Finland was very good. She's a very good driver. She's one of the best female drivers in FD.
It's a good bump.
Probably in Drift Masters as well, because I haven't really seen any female drivers in Drift Masters. So if she goes next year, like to do a full course of Drift Masters, that'll be very good.
Driver.
she can progress more in her driving because the drivers, the drift masters, are very highly skilled as well.
She's driven a lot of different vehicles from the desert to karting to, you know, a lot of different motorsports and action sports. So there's Matthew Bystrack here in the Ford Mustang warming up his tires. And Bystrack, pretty aggressive here this weekend.
Yeah, he's who was against Kaufman in the seating. He showed up, and unfortunately he's done a little landscaping here in practice and against that battle. So maybe he can find that fine line in between the aggression and not going off.
But as it's
Trevor Root,
and just as great segue here, Trevor Root, he's been rooted a couple times in the grass and the side of cars during practice. You know, we were downstairs at the tower, and like we turn around, and Trevor is just over here, over there, and he's, you know, we'll see if he can really put it together, because it seems like he has found every little niche of this track. So Trevor Root, Bystrack, Root will lead. He was locked and loaded. He finished 11th in New Jersey. Bystrack had to fight for his position to get here into top 32. Here comes Trevor Root in that BMW. Initiates aggressively, straight line approach into that first outside zone. And Bystrack, really nice job there, getting into formation. You saw
that ET86 chassis is light as hell.
Outside zone 2 to 3.
And it handles pretty well.
Kind of scrutinizing. He says, all right, Jared, here you go. I'll show you how to put it down. And puts it and fills all the outside zones. And Bystrack looks like he, you know, kind of tried to attack there, had to back off, but he did have control across the finish line. A good lead, solid run by Root.
Go ahead, make your day with the Neo QLED 8K.
That's what Matt needed to do Root gave Bystrack a good opportunity there. I don't think Bystrack took full advantage of it, but we can tear it apart here in a little bit as we look at Amanda Sorensen's crew trying to fix that right rear.
And for those fans, new and old, it bears repeating, yeah, there is that camber. That's not what you want. But competition timeout, you have 5-minute allotment.
Yep.
The car needs to be up and running, ready to go.
Yep, I like the aggression here in the chase position. Also, Root doing a great job of filling out that outer zone 1 as we spin around to outer zone 2. Bystrack losing a little bit of real estate as they head into outer zone 3. Couldn't quite close the gap. I feel like he could have done a better job of anticipating that transition a little later, and Root keeping it right on that razor-thin line through the finish line in outer zone 4. Bystrack, you can tell he was trying to do everything in his power to keep that Mustang a little closer to that BMW.
All hands on deck. They only have 5 minutes here in our competition timeout. And we'll see if they can, 1, get it together, or 2, fix the potential issue. What the issue is, we don't know. Sometimes you might see that little gremlin hiding underneath, or not see the gremlin in this instance. All right, Bystrack now out front in that Ford Mustang. Trevor Root, let's see how he chases down the Ford Mustang. There's Bystrack, got involved with the dirt, didn't wreak havoc on him like it did yesterday in the seating brackets. Now coming to outside zone 3. See Root, good proximity. And again, given that a little bit of dirt was thrown in his face, and now coming that last outside zone, Root drops into formation. See Bystrack power on through.
That was very good. Like a lot of these drivers are good lead run drivers. It's just they chase. They gotta really practice, or either get on the sim and really get that seat time in with chasing.
Looking a little more smooth, and Root had a lot more proximity just throughout. Look a little more comfortable in the chase position, if you will. Decent transition. He's slowly reeling it in. I would like to see a little more attack, but you can see he's staying within that pocket, staying in the game. Could have anticipated that transition a little bit more, but you can see much less wavering, even in the lead compared to chase position there in the outer zone 4. You can see that tire drop from our boy Justin as we get into outer zone 2. As Bystrack pulls a little handbrake, a little left foot brake, and Root taking advantage of that momentum break there as they get through outer zone 3. Nice and clean. Root could have been a little more to the right, could have been a little closer, but I don't think he had to in this particular battle. He might want to clean that transition up in that chase position for the future if he goes on. So looking at, again, at Sorensen's camp here, you can see that upper link. That's probably the camber adjustment there that I was talking about that probably got a little tweak to give less than ideal drift conditions for that type of vehicle. So taking a look again at our BC Racing side-by-side. You can see the difference here. I like the aggression from Matt, but it kind of fell off in that chase position in the Bystrack camp as Root brings it around closer than Bystrack as they whip it into outer zone 3. And you can see Bystrack kind of hesitating a little more into outer zone 4 than Root was in both of their lead positions. So A little bit of takeaways from both, but the needle had the waiver. I feel like Root was a little more polished in both positions.
Well, you said it, and we'll see if that comes to fruition. We'll see if you are right. Trevor Root and Bystrack, and it looks like Trevor Root gets 2 votes, and it's unanimous. Trevor Root advances on Bystrack. Great effort. Love his driving prowess. Just like you said, just a little more polished on this Root side of things. 1/2 battle left. If Sorensen, you saw that clock, it was sub 3 minutes. So you could see that's again, Lorette down there broke a joint on the upper control arm, that rear right. So good eye in the sky there. Eagle Eye Sopa.
You know it.
Lightning McSopa, Eagle Eye, and Lorette down there. You could see the.
Oh, it looks like they just took that whole corner. See,
Lorette pointing things out there. Lorette, who you talking to down there? What's going on?
Yeah, guys, exactly that. So this joint right here was broken on the upper control arm. So they're trying to fix that right now. You can see that there are at least 4, 5, 6 hands in Amanda's wheel well right now and trying to fix that. Amanda's still in the car. She was watching the battle back to see what happened. She's staying cool, calm, and collected. The team is all collaborating, and they are talking together and trying to fix this. There is 1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Lorette, that is tight. That's going to be really close. We're up here in the booth, and all of us are like, that is close. And you know, you hate for Amanda to get taken out like that, but that's the aggressive driving that we have come to expect from a lot of these drivers. But Amanda, just stay in the cockpit. You know, you trust the team, and it's very unfortunate. You could see her conversing, the Rockstar Energy Drink driver. Like I said, making history last year, the first ever female to podium in Formula Drift history. This is our final battle. If her vehicle is unable to be fixed, that will be a victory being handed to Brian Wills, and it looks like that is not going to be. The car is down, but the wheel is not on. Can you throw on those lugs in less than 20 seconds? 10 seconds. Let's throw that thing on like an F1 car, and we will see if the car is rip-roaring and ready to go. And again, you can see, looks like Trey is underneath the vehicle.
No, you can see, yeah, Kevin giving the no-go. The car needs to be down and ready, I believe, but maybe we can get that information relayed from either Lorette Nickel or Kevin through our race control. By Ron Willis.
And unfortunately, it is not enough time. That you saw the clock expire before the car was down, rip-roaring and ready to go. And a gutted situation there for Amanda Sorensen. A good drive. Don't know if that was going to be enough to solidify. You know, again, going against Wills. There were some mistakes here and there on either side of it, but unfortunately for Amanda Sorensen, hitting that wall, which was under her own power. You know, so it's kind of upsetting when you know you kind of did it yourself, and then unfortunately just not enough time in the clock. And a very capable team, but the gloves are off. She's out of the cockpit. Again, Amanda, hold your head high. Definitely a talented driver. She's driving a lot of different vehicles here, and Amanda Sorensen out of the cockpit, and unfortunately that will be the end of her weekend. We'll see her in Utah. She loves the state, and we will see her there.
Yeah, it's
in the body language, you could just see that's it. It's how it is. You know, don't know what was said, but obviously frustrating.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure Wills will agree. Like he probably wanted to battle it as well, like anybody would want to. You don't want to win like that.
Yep. So as we pull out of the pit, we pull to the start line, and pulling to the start line, that is Brian Wills, the Nasty Habit S chassis. And he will move on. So a celebratory lap. We'll see him in the top 16. Congratulations to Brian Wills. He advances on and will advance on to the 16. But we have a halftime break before our driver introduction here in our round 3 of our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. We're not back here for shoot. I mean, local time is just before 5 p.m. and our opening ceremonies is at 8. So Lorette, down to you. It's unfortunate to Amanda, but check the temperature.
Hi, honey. Incredible job. The team worked so hard. Unfortunately, the bolt was finger tight instead of mechanically tight. What do you have to say about this situation?
Honestly, it is what it is. I had gone a little too deep into OZ4. I had felt that the car kind of took a big impact. I almost didn't call the 5, but I knew safer than sorry. I came in, there was right rear control arm had broken. And so the team did the best they could to execute it. And sometimes when the problems hit you, they just hit you. But they did their best to execute the game plan, and we'll be back stronger for Utah.
Amanda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jared, Matt.
Thank you so much, Lorette, and thank you for getting, just down there in the pits. And there it is, great attitude. We'll see in Utah.
The impact was insane.
She said she was gonna run, but
the fact that the wheel held up, it was.
Again, if that arm is broken, that could have been way worse.
I've seen some fixes, but that's right. Safety first.
All right, your thoughts on 32?
Let's keep this trend.
All right, that is it for top 32. One that keeps streaming, sitting 16. Top 16 as well, but life calls and I got things to do.
Yeah, especially
so next stream,
that's gonna be one thing.
I don't know. Probably might stream it again. I get the chance tonight as well, but I don't know. It depends if I get to come back home early or not.
Kelsey Rawlings drove really well, very clean. Just sterile.
Next stream we're gonna be checking out the pro drivers and see how they do. Who wins there? But yeah, I wish I can watch top 16, but just have to watch it on my own time. We will watch it, but we might just rewatch it. We don't gotta have to be on schedule. We can just watch it whenever and figure out who won that. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later whenever I live stream this again. Wish I can keep it streaming, but it's not the case. Time to pay.